Hello, this is Dr. Az. In this video, I would like to show you how to save your file, how to launch Crystal Ball, and how to use forecast tool in Crystal Ball to forecast risk-free rate. All right, let's start. So this is the Excel file that we were building on. So I would like to close this file, but before doing that, I would like to save this file. File, Save As, and then here I will click Browse. And you would like to save your file to your H drive, which is under this PC. Scroll down, you will see this H drive. Click on that. You can see it says H. It's your Lemoyne computer. And then save anywhere in this folder so that your Excel file won't disappear. Again, make sure that save your file periodically to make sure that you are not losing data. Another thing that's important, originally when we download this data from Capital IQ, we were getting it in XLS format, which is old version of Excel. Please save as XLSX format so you are not losing some of the formulas. Please save as, and then good. So I closed my Excel file, Excel file here, and now I can launch the Crystal Ball. So how am I gonna do that? This is your desktop. Click on AJ Apps, and then scroll down and you see Crystal Ball. Click on that. Click Continue, and then click to run the program. Wait until you see the pop-up window. All right, so here is your window. You can click on Use Crystal Ball and then find your Excel file that you just created. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is create a new worksheet here and call this worksheet as valuation. And I will drag this one to the beginning. And you can see now that I have Crystal Ball tab here. Perfect. Now in this new worksheet, I would like to calculate the risk-free rate for the upcoming 10 years. On two, highlight those two, right down corner, drag it until you see 10, more, 9, 10, and then I would like to have a terminal value. Again, it's a very common practice to use 10 years. Some people do, for depending on company, 5 years or more than 10 years. All right, now I would like to forecast my risk-free rate. To be able to forecast it, I would like to download the risk-free rate. So I would download the risk-free rate. I click new worksheet, and I will call here 10-year T-bond, treasury bond rate. That's accepted to be at the risk-free rate because U.S. government's assumed to be a great country to pay its debt back. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is start my browser, internet browser, and here I will search for 10-year treasury bond rate historical annual. Click enter. You can see the treasury.gov. I will use microtrends that pulls data for me. And you can see here in this chart that currently the rate is 0.75, which is very, very low. Historically, it was going up until 1980s, and it has been going down last 40 years. What does it tell you? 0.75. It tells you that if you lend your $100 to U.S. government, the U.S. government will give you $100 back in 10 years, and in the meantime, you will collect every year 75 cents. If it's semi-annual, you will receive 37.5 cents every 6 months, which is really almost nothing, considering that average inflation rate in the United States is around 2%. All right, so I would like to download this data and open the CSV file. I will highlight my data, Control Shift down arrow, Shift up, Control C, paste to my Excel workbook, 10-year bond worksheet, Control V, perfect. Now I can close this CSV file. I'm done with it. And now I would like to divide this date into month, day, and year so that I can do pivot table. How am I going to do that? Click on letter A, data, text to columns, delimited, other, all right, and put slash here, backward slash or whatever it's called. Next, choose the destination. I would like to have my data right here, C1, enter, and then finish. So now you can see that these are your months, these are your days, and these are your years. Now I can create a pivot table, click on top left corner, that will select the entire worksheet. And now insert pivot table. I would like to create pivot table in this sheet, worksheet. Click use an external data, no, sorry. Choose an existing worksheet right here. Choose the location. G1 is fine for me. Enter, enter. Now this is my pivot table. I would like to have my years in my rows. And I would like to have my interest rate values in my value section. But I don't want to have count. I want to see average. Drop down menu, value field settings, take the average, click OK. Now these are my averages for a given year. What I would like to do is copy this data table because it's hard to work with pivot tables. The values only. Highlight the first row, Control Shift down arrow. Let's don't use 2020 because we are gonna assume that 2020 is our base year. Let's forecast 2020 as well because we are still at the beginning of 2020. Control C. Click here. Right click. Paste special only values. Again, this is my year column and this is my interest rate. Annual interest rate. So now I can make forecasts for next 10 years. What am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do is highlight my data starting from year, Control Shift down arrow, and then here crystal ball, predictor. And now you can read the welcome page if you want to. Next, my data is in my columns and top row has headers and left column has dates. Next, I will let the computer choose the right seasonality approach or not. My data is in years. I'm not going to include any events such as crashes and so on. I'm not going to adjust for outliers. Next, I will let Crystal Ball choose the best model. I'm not going to use multiple linear regression because I don't have multiple independent variable that impacts my outcome, in this case, interest rates. I will let the software use RMSE, root mean square error. Personally, I like MAPE better, but it doesn't really matter to choose the best model. Run. Okay, you can see that now the historical data is green and the light blue is our forecast for historical data, fitted. And the forecast for the future is, you can see here, around this dark blue line. And you can see that this is we are showing now 95th percentile confidence interval. If I show 90th, you can see that this is it. So I think 95th percentile is fine. So this is 2.5 percentile and this is 97.5 fifth percentile. The best method is there's a trend and there is no seasonality. And I would like to paste this method. And what I'm gonna do is I will ignore the warning. I would like to have my data starting at, it's gonna be my rows, this icon, go to my valuation, and right here, or you can choose right here. That's okay. Click OK. And rows, I want this to be random. Click OK. OK. And now you can see your forecast. So this model is forecasting this as a random number. You can see here around 2%. Again, you may not like this. You can change this manually or so on. Currently, the rate is very low, 0.75. But again, it's a random number, so that I don't even know what's going to happen a year from now or 5 years from now. Again, most people just assume that it's a constant value. That's fine with me. I would just use the random number so I can show you I can have the risk-free rates changing. So I will assume that in the base here, just 2019, this rate was, scroll down, let me just scroll down all the way to my real data, was 0.749. Okay, these are percentages, obviously. These values are actually not percentages, so I need to make sure that when I write this value also, this is 2%, this is 0.02, right? So, and this is consistent, so I need to divide all these numbers by 100. Maybe I will do that right here. It's gonna be easier to do that. Risk-free rate is a percentage. Okay. So I would just do this, divide by 100, and this is a percentage. And I can drag it all the way. Right. And let's assume that the terminal value is going to be historical rate, probably around 2%. Again, this is so much assumption here going on, but what I could do is look at again the chart that I was just looking into, and you can see that recently the average is around, I would say, 3%. And you should be able to actually see the average here somewhere, but it's okay. What I could do is, if you want to, I could go back to my Excel file to see what's historical average. So this has long-term data, which is okay. What I could do is click on the first value here, Control Shift down arrow, and then you can see that the average is actually 6% overall long-term. And if you look at the average for maybe last 20 years, starting from 2000, it is around 3.4%. So maybe it's better to use 3.5% as a terminal value, because we are going through really, really extraordinary time frame. Again, many people do not agree with what I'm doing. They assume that I should just use 0.74%, but I don't like that idea, because I know that this is an extraordinary time, and I know that the risk-free rate should go up in the future, and it cannot stay just right here. That is unbelievable. But I may be wrong, but this is my expectation based on historical data. All right, that's it for this video. Until next video, enjoy business analytics.